Taysom, on that third drive, when you guys had facing that 4th and 1, were you actually planning to run a play, or was that designed to have them jump off sides?
You're muted, Taysom. Sorry.
I caught the tail end of that question. I think you're talking about the offsides. No, we didn't have a call, a play called. We always have the option to get into something, but that's what we were hoping to have happen.
Next question is from Luke Johnson.
Yeah, Taysom, what was today's game like for you? Just knowing the circumstances the Broncos were in, and it looked like you guys were kind of just in this don't make any mistakes and go out there and kind of grind out a win mode.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think going into the game, there was so much uncertainty, didn't know how this was going to play out that, offensively, I'm not surprised the way that the game went after having different conversations with Coach, last night and this morning. So, look, it's about what I expected.
Next one's from Amy Just.
How beneficial was Latavius Murray and his work today?
Yeah, Latavius was great. Again, it was one of those things where we tried to manage the ball, make sure that we weren't doing anything to hurt ourselves as a team, offensively. But then take time off the clock and to have the ability to hand the ball to Latavius. Certainly, we see so many great moments with Alvin too, but those guys never go down on the first contact. They're making guys miss. Their ability to make these cuts in the hole and get yards after contact was huge. And look, that was the game plan for the day.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
You just kind of hit on it, but Sean said that, he understands that the game wasn't necessarily aesthetically pleasing, but you executed it exactly how he wanted. And I'm just curious, do you feel the same way about how things went? And just how much did the plan change over the last 24 hours after all the crazy stuff with the Broncos happened?
I mean, yeah, it drastically changed. And then as far as evaluating my performance, it's a difficult game to look at as a competitor and feel, really gratified about. At the end of the day, through my conversations with Coach, I felt like my responsibility was get us in and out of the huddle, make sure we're lined up properly, make sure we were targeting everything correctly. Overall, I was happy with the way that I was able to manage the game plan. And look, at the end of the day, it's hard to win in this league. It's hard to win 9 games this early. Overall, a win's a win, and we'll take it any way we can get it.
Next one's from Mike Triplett.
Taysom, specifically on your performance, I think the unprofessional evaluation early in the game might be that you looked hesitant or reserved, taking those sacks and holding the ball instead of making some of the throws. Is that part of the game plan? It was just that don't take any risks, even on that screen pass maybe that led to the penalty?
Yeah, look, going into the game, as already has been alluded to, the game plan changed the last 24 hours. So my mindset changed as well, and really became a game manager at that point. And certainly the way that Sean called the game reflected that. The screen was one of those where Alvin, rather specifically Alvin, kind of ran into the end. And look, when you call a screen, it's either there or it's not, and you dirt it, you throw it away. I probably should have thrown it away a little bit sooner. but that was one where it just wasn't a clean look. And to your point, we're not going to take any unnecessary risk that puts our defense in a bad situation.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Speaking of the defense, 3 takeaways for them today, 2 of which led to points. How big were they today in just putting y'all in good position?
Yeah, I mean, look, we can have all of these conversations about being conservative offensively because of the way our defense played, because of the way that they have been playing. We had so much trust in those guys that to me is really why we felt like we were going to do what we did today.
Next one's from Doug Mouton.
Yeah, Tay, so when you say the game plan changed dramatically, what do you mean specifically?
Look, we weren't adding or taking away plays, but the way that the game was going to be called and you know, our first and second down calls changed dramatically. And so it was really just boiled down to the way coach was going to call the game.
Would you say that it changed dramatically into a more conservative way?
Yeah, that's what that's what I was inferring.
Last one's from Luke Johnson.
Yeah, Taysom, that first touchdown drive, I think you guys closed it out with 10 consecutive running plays. What does that say when you're able to kind of do something like that when it's just really kind of man on man and just kind of taking it right down the field like that?
Yeah, look, I can't say enough great things about the way our line played. And look, I feel like Denver has a really good defense. Really, they play assignment sound defense, and for us to be able to do that was really impressive. You know, and I think as you lose Teron Armstead late in the week, and there's we're trying to make sure we're taking care of James on the left side now, and to be able to just throw James in and plug and go and run the ball the way that we did was incredibly impressive, and gives us a lot of confidence moving forward.
We're all set. Thank you, Taysom.
Thanks, guys.